Welcome back to ESBR Boxing in partnership with sharpbetting.co.uk. Delighted as always to be joined by Punch Out Boxing's Ra Hokum. We have just seen Dmitry Bivol and Artur Beterbiev weigh in for their rematch ahead of the big fight tomorrow night in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Ra, good to be joined by you as always. Appreciate your time. Thoughts on that weigh-in, please. Both fighters have made weight. That's the most important thing. Nothing kind of outstanding happened there. But yeah, your thoughts to what we've just seen, please.
You know what? I don't really think for these really big events you can tell much from the public weigh-in. From my experience, having been out to Riyadh season events, I know the actual weigh-in is quite early in the morning. So it's actually been 12 hours, I think, since they weighed in officially. So they've had several good meals, plenty of drinks, snacks, you name it, whatever their nutritionist tells them they need to. So in terms of what they might have looked like on the scales, I don't think that tells us anything. But I have my views about how it will go regardless of how they looked on the scales.
Yeah, I've got two questions for you about the weigh-in, Ra, before we move on. Bivol came in almost a pound underweight. There have been people saying in the past he could move down to 168 and fight Canelo then. Possibly if
Mhm.
he were to win tomorrow night, he could move down and be undisputed against possibly undisputed if Canelo becomes undisputed champion again. Do you think that's like I don't think anyone kind of knows that for sure. I think it's just people speculating. But where do you sit on that? Do you think Bivol could move down in weight?
Yeah, I think he could, but whether he'd be effective now, that's a different matter. I think Bivol himself did say after beating Canelo, but that's what has it been 2 years or 3 years? I can't remember now. It's been some time, but he's well, he's well into his 30s now. I think all talk of that seems to have gone by the wayside. I wouldn't recommend it now. I mean, yeah, I mean with them getting big paydays on Riyadh season anyway, it's not like he's forced to. If that had happened with after an immediate rematch with Canelo, then I think he could probably have made 168 and still been effective. But 2 or 3 years on, no, I don't think he'd be effective, but he'd be very drained at the weight.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it would be a lot of weight to cut. A few pounds too many. On the Beterbiev, I think I remember we were both at the fight when he fought Anthony Yards a while ago now. I remember thinking going to the press conference, he looked a bit kind of dry there. Managed to make the weight, but here we are a couple of years later, and he's still making 175. Came in at 175 exactly, is what we were told. How much longer do you think? Obviously, 40 years old now, Beterbiev, so we don't know how much longer he's going to fight for. But do you think he could have another fight at light heavyweight, another two fights maybe? Or do you think that this could be it? This could be his final fight at 175.
Well, the noises coming from him are that he'll stay at light heavyweight. I think he's one of those fighters that I guess because he became a pro as a mature adult, wasn't he like 30 or close to 30? So I guess he's not going to grow much bigger, but making weight, of course, gets more difficult with age. And I think if he does keep making weight for another year or so, one of these young guns will eventually catch up to him. Personally, I thought it happened in October with Bivol. So yeah, the weight making will eventually give him diminishing returns at his age.
Sure, we shall see. Not possibly final question from me, but I'm not making any promises. Always keen to know what you've got to say. I don't feel like we've spoken too much about this fight. Now that we've had all the fight week events, build up, the weigh-in, all that is left to do is fight. Give us your thoughts on what will happen tomorrow night, please.
I think similar to what happened the first time round, but more conclusive. Now, you know what I thought happened, which very few people agree with. I thought Bivol was quite the clear winner. Um, I thought he got the better of some exchanges early on. I thought he landed more scoring shots in most rounds. but the judges favoured the perpetual aggression of the Beterbiev. I think what will happen this time is, I mean, these two guys, they're not going to change their style. They're going to fight the way they always fight. But as I have been emphasizing for a while, Beterbiev can only decline from fight camp to fight camp at his age. Bivol at 34, given the lack of punishment he's taken, I don't think he's declining yet, or if it is, it's so minuscule as to be imperceptible. And I think the quick turnaround as well is really gonna it's really gonna cost Beterbiev. We've seen in recent years, much like certain other aging fighters, they fight once a year, and I don't think that's an accident. At that age, they're going to constantly pick up injuries, the recovery from the grueling training camps, all of that. Probably they need the better part of a year between fights. This time, it's a 4 month turnaround. I think he's going to really feel it. And I think we'll see him slow down considerably. And Bivol this time will get his due on the scorecards. So I think it will be a Dmitry Bivol unanimous decision.
Bivol unanimous decision, fantastic. We'll see if that happens. Final question for me, right? Can you envisage a Bivol stoppage here? Because I think when it comes to like predictions, that's one thing not many people are predicting. Bivol kind of can punch in his own right. Beterbiev's been hurt before. Are you confident like it goes the distance, Bivol wins on points, or can you see a stoppage possibly happening?
Yeah, possibly. When I spoke to your colleagues about it a few weeks back, we agreed that because of the age factor, um, you could see a scenario where Beterbiev is just getting hit over and over again. I certainly don't see him put on his, flat on his back, but I can see an accumulation where he's just hit repeatedly, can't get out of the way, and the referee's forced to step in. I think there's a fair chance that could happen, but I think the most likely thing for me is, as I said, the points decision.
Fantastic. All right, well, I won't take up any more of your time. Always appreciate your time and your thoughts. Enjoy the fight tomorrow night. There's not much else to say. Thank you very much for your time, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon.